Are the Chiefs looking to sign a quote-unquote secret weapon in the international landscape? And Kadarius Toney rumors. Could he be potentially a huge part of the Chiefs' plan in 2024? Well, we'll tell you all that and more right here on today's Chiefs Report. We certainly do appreciate you watching. I'm your host, Jace Andrews, and before we get going, I gotta ask, are you a part of the Noti Gang? Because if not, now is your time to join, because guess what? When you're a part of the Noti Gang, you're going to get notified whenever we post a video. So, the Chiefs make a trade. The Chiefs make a signing. We have a video out talking about the latest news and rumors, like this one. You're going to get notified. You're going to be the first to see it, and you're going to be in the know about every single thing going on in Kansas City. So that way, when you're at work, when you're at school, you can flex to all your friends saying, hey, yeah, I know what's going on in Kansas City. I know what's going on with the Chiefs because I watch the Chiefs Report. So I have everything on lock. Join the Noti Gang today and hit that subscribe button as well if you are not doing that. Let's go to the first report about this quote-unquote secret weapon. Ian Rappaport had this one yesterday morning saying, this is a fun one. Welsh rugby star Louis Rees-Zammit, one of the more high-profile international names in the International Player Pathway program, is visiting the Broncos today and the Chiefs tomorrow, which would be today, source said. He spent last week with the Browns and the Jets. Now he is trying out at 3 positions, which is why he has been labeled as a secret weapon. Now these 3 positions do go together in some facets, but still, the fact that he's able to play all 3 is really, really interesting. The first and the main one that I've seen video evidence of is wide receiver. Obviously, rugby, you got to have some hands in those. Well, he certainly showed it in his tryouts with both the Jets and the Browns. Now we'll have to see if he does it with the Chiefs. Also looking at potentially being a running back and a kick returner as well. Now, it's not like this guy just was selected from the rugby landscape and said, yeah, we want to choose you to try and test us out. No. They put this guy through multiple tests, and honestly, they asked who wants to try and go. Well, he was one who said he would like to. He actually attended a pro day at the University of South Florida and ran some 40-yard dash times. His first attempt, 4.5, and his second attempt, 4.43, which honestly are pretty solid times. Now, obviously, you can't make this to be what his speed will be in-game, but at the same time, 4.5 and 4.43, that's like on par with a lot of other talent in the NFL. I mean, let's just go for comparison here to the rest of the Chiefs wide receiver squad. Rashee Rice ran a 4.51 last year. Obviously, the speedster Marquise Brown was just an exceptional 4.27. Skyy Moore ran a 4.41. Kadarius Toney ran a 4.39. And then Justin Watson ran a 4.42. And I've seen a lot of comparisons that Lamet could be more of a Justin Watson type receiver. I know that there is some talk about potentially bringing him in, obviously. It's something to talk. Now, again, 40-yard dash time is not what we see in terms of speed in game. It's not going to be every single time that he goes out there and is running for a pass, running on the running back. He is not going to be using that 4.43 time. But it is a good indicator of how fast he can actually be, and how well he can read everything else is determined by other, obviously, things that they do at the Combine and stuff that you do at Pro Day. Well, we got this from Scott Rogust from Fansided talking about the Chiefs potentially signing Rees-Zammit. The Chiefs could stand to add Rees-Zammit to provide more flexibility on offense. While the team did bring in Brown via free agency, they also released Marquez Valdes-Scantling. Even with Brown and Rashee Rice, the team could stand to add more reliable options over Kadarius Toney and Skyy Moore. As for running back, the Chiefs allowed Clyde Edwards-Helaire and Jerick McKinnon to hit free agency. Now, how likely is this, though? Because obviously he makes some good points. Clyde Edwards-Helaire and Jerick McKinnon are both free agents, and I've got no notion that the Chiefs are looking to sign them back. Obviously, their wide receiver room with Marquise Brown is great, but are they content with it? Well, there's some underlying factors that make this a little more likely for the Chiefs to potentially sign him. Let's first kind of talk about this whole entire NFL International Pathway program. So since the program began, there have been 37 players that have signed, and 18 are on rosters, 5 are on active rosters. Now, the ESPN also talked about the potential of adding in this, and they talked honestly about the new rule in the NFL that makes it to where it's more likely to see one of these players end up at least on a roster in the NFL. They said this season marks the first time that each team will have a 17th roster spot on the practice squad specifically available for an international player. Teams also are permitted to elevate an international practice squad player to an active roster a maximum of 3 times throughout the season. So, knowing all this, knowing there has been success, and there's 5 players that have gotten to active rosters off this International Player Pathway program, would you sign Louis Rees-Zammit? Type S for sign. Type P for pass. What are we thinking about this? Do you want to bring him in? I think it's a cool story, and plus, what's the hurt? You have an extra roster spot up open. May as well go out there. S for sign, P for pass. All right, coming up with the new kickoff rule, which we'll talk about here when we get back. Could Kadarius Toney play an important role in 2024 on this Chiefs squad? People are talking, and there's some rumors going around that Kadarius Toney, he actually could be a valuable asset with this new rule. But first, I got to tell you about one of our amazing sponsors, Game Time, back with us for the past couple days. And we got a new code for you to get $20 off with your first purchase. That code being Chat Sports. Listen, we all have had a frustrating experience with every ticketing app out there. But Game Time, guess what? I have truly never had a bad experience. I've done baseball games. I've done basketball games. And guess what? They truly mean it when you don't have to worry about buying tickets to your next big event, because Game Time is literally the easiest app to go with. They have fast and easy ways to buy tickets for sports, music, comedy, theater, pretty much any event in your area. Game Time has you covered. As you can see to my right, their app is super user-friendly. You can go through it, and they have killer last-minute deals, zone deals, and flash deals that you can see clearly marked. And on top of which, it takes just a couple clicks to get your all-in tickets. Once again, you can get $20 off your first purchase by using this code right here, Chat Sports, a new code for you. So go check it out. I'm telling you, you're not going to find a better ticketing out there. You can see the view from your seat before you buy as well, so you know exactly what to expect when you arrive. Plus, Game Time has deal on tickets right up to the start of an event and even an hour after it starts. It's the place to find last-minute seats. And if you're like me, you don't like planning, Game Time is the app for you. So here's what you're going to do. Download the Game Time app, create an account, and use code CHATSPORTS for $20 off your first purchase. Terms apply. Again, create an account and redeem code CHATSPORTS. ChatSports, no spaces. You see it on the bottom of your screen. For $20 off, download Game Time today. Last minute tickets at the lowest price, guaranteed. The link will be in the comments in the description of this video. All right, Tom Pelissero is the one that I think describes this one best, but this morning we got a couple of rule changes introduced, and the kickoff one being a new one. Owners just approved the NFL hybrid kickoff rule per source. After years of tweaks, turned one of the game's most exciting moments into a dead ceremonial play, the league hopes this overhaul will yield what it wants: fewer injuries and more returns. Now, if you've watched the XFL, you know exactly what this is. But to kind of explain it, here's the best picture I've seen. So, you're going to have the kicker lined up on the opposite side on the 35, and then you're going to have both people going right in between there. So you can kind of see here, you've got your offensive return man right here, you've got your defensive return team or defending team right there, and you got your 2 returners back on these 2 dots. Now, why is this going to increase returns? Well, first of all, if you kick it past and out the back of the end zone back here, it's going to put the ball at the 30-yard line. If it rolls into the end zone, it puts at the 20. So these return people got to grab it. Plus, it's going to be free because these blockers up front, they cannot move until the ball is grabbed by one of the return man back here. This could really help out Toney because, to me, this kind of makes it more similar to a punt return because you're going to have to catch it. That is what is going to happen. There is not going to be gunners anymore where they're flying at you. You're going to have blockers right in front of you. It's just going to be up to you. Are you going to have 1 return man back or 2 return men back? I've seen the more likely one is to be 1, but I truly feel like this could honestly work in Kadarius Toney's favor. And that may be why he's still on the roster. I think his biggest strength is return ability. We saw it in Super Bowl 57 where he returned that punt against the Philadelphia Eagles. And we know that his speed has been a really key part of his game. We even saw it in the Eagles game this past year where he had a pretty good return. I know there is still some positive things in him, and we look at his return stats from 2022 in the playoffs, 6 for 112. That's pretty good, to be honest. This could make it where he could have an official spot, not just as a punt returner, but as the kick returner as well. And again, I do feel like Kadarius Toney is just kept because he wouldn't save any money. This format, again, is more like a punt returning style because the return man, no one's going to be around him. He's going to have clear and obvious, I'm going to catch this, and then everybody can move. It's closer to a punt return, and I think it really does exactly what it's supposed to do. It allows for more and more returns to happen because it negates kickers to kick it out of the back of the end zone because that's 30 yards extra. And then it negates the punt returners letting it roll into the end zone because guess what? Then it gets put at the 20. It just doesn't make sense anymore. So going to see a lot more returns, and I think Kadarius Toney could be a really good recipient of it. Which leads me to my next point. Toney will be on the roster in 2024. Now, this has not been technically confirmed, nor has it been denied. They haven't cut him yet. That's the thing. And I truly do not feel like at this point that is going to happen because it would have already happened at this point. I mean, they have $27 million. You're not saving any money by cutting him. Just keep him. Andy Reid has talked about how he likes his intangibles, and when he has the ball in his hands, he is really, really energetic, and it's fun to watch. But we haven't gotten to see that much because, well, he's dropped a lot of them. One more rule change I do want to bring up here real quick in case you missed it. Rappaport had this yesterday. The hip drop tackle is banned. There's lots of rule changes, and this one is one that I am very interested to see what happens because we already don't know what a catch is in the NFL, and now we're not going to know what an official and legal tackle is in the NFL. So get ready for more flags. Get ready for longer games. It's not going to be exactly the most fun thing, but hey, the NFL knows what they're doing, and hey, Roger, I guess I trust you, but I'm ready to be thoroughly impressed, hopefully, by the start of the 2024 season. That's all we got for you today. Make sure you hit that subscribe button, Chiefs Kingdom. I certainly do appreciate hanging out with us. Each and every one of you are very important, and I'm glad that you chose to spend some time with me today. But that's all I got for now. Peace out.